Hi everyone, my name is Grace Fuller and this is my Linguistics 1000 case study presentation. In this video, I will be analysing 2 low-level readers from the Reading A to Z program and 3 sentences from a higher-level book, LING Life in Australian by Heather Hammons. I will discuss how grammatical structure and phonological features influence literacy development and reading difficulties for young learners. The first lower-level book I chose is On the Farm, which is a level B reader. The text contains very simple repetitive sentences such as the cow eats, the pig eats, the horse eats. Each sentence has the same grammatical structure, a subject noun, phrase followed by an intransitive verb. The phrase structure looks like this. Here the cow is the subject and eats is the predicate. The verb eats is in the simple present tense, simple aspect and active voice. This repetitive structure helps beginning readers develop syntactic awareness by recognizing that all sentence shares the same word order, subject plus verb. Only one word changes each time, the noun. This supports predictability, which is critical for emergent readers who are still developing their decoding and fluency skills. Phonological awareness, all the content words are short and regular. Words like pig, cow, and goat are either CVC or CV patterns, making them highly decodable. The function word the appears repeatedly, helping children identify high-frequency sight words. The function word the appears repeatedly, helping children identify high-frequently sight words. There are no silent letters or complex digraphs, which keeps the orthology consistent with what students encounter in early stage 1 of the New South Wales English K-6 syllabus. The pictures strongly reinforce meaning and allow children to connect phonological cues with visual representation, which aligns with EYLF Outcome 5, children engaging with print meaningfully. Overall, On the Farm is an ideal early reader for fostering early phonics and sentence patterns recognition.
Book 2, We Go to School, Level C. The second lower level book is We Go to School. The reader introduces slightly more complexity while maintaining a predictable structure. Example sentences include, we go to school, we read books, we play outside. Let's look at the sentence, we go to school. The phrase structure can be written as noun phrase we plus verb phrase go to school. The subject is the pronoun we, and the predicate includes the verb phrase go to school, which contains a prepositional phrase complement. The verb go is in the simple present tense active voice. Each sentence repeats this same subject-verb pattern, but varies the verb and object, for example, read books or play outside. The variation maintains engagement while reinforcing structural predictability, supporting both grammatical generalization and vocabulary growth. From a phonological perspective, the words are still short and mostly regular. However, school introduces the digraph representing the sk sound, and irregular correspondence. Likewise, play introduces the vowel digraph, showing children that 2 letters can represent 1 long vowel sound. This text is excellent for bridging the gap between basic decoding and recognizing less predictable spelling patterns. In both books, children practice connecting phonemes and graphemes, recognizing sight words, and following a consistent syntactic pattern, all key foundations for early literacy development.
I will move on to the higher level book, LING Life in Australia, which is designed for children aged around 8 to 10 years old. These sentences are more complex, syntactically containing multiple clauses, subordination, and embedded structures. Sentence 1. Fraser Island is special because it is the largest sand island in the world. This sentence has a main clause and a subordinate adverbial clause introduced by because. The structure can be represented as the main verb in both clauses is, a copular verb in the simple present tense and active voice. The subordinate clause provides a reason, so it functions adverbially. Inside that clause, there's a noun phrase, the largest sand island in the world, which includes both pre and post modification. This layering increases grammatical density, making it more challenging for readers because they must interpret relationships within and between clauses. Sentence 2. These people own the places where visitors to the island can stay. This one is a main clause with an embedded relative clause. The main clause is these people own the places, and the relative clause, where visitors to the island can stay, modifies places. Here, own is a transitive verb, again, in the simple present tense and active voice. Within the relative clause, can stay introduces modality, which adds another level of complexity. The noun phrase visitors to the island contains a prepositional phrase, to the island, that further expands the structure. To read and understand this sentence, learners must recognize hierarchical clause, embedding and understand how the relative pronoun where connects two ideas, which are ownership and location. Sentence 3. We have seen some Australian islands in this book, but Australia has many other islands too. This final example contains two independent clauses, joined by the coordinating conjunction but. The first clause, we have seen some Australian islands in this book, uses the present perfect tense, showing a completed action with relevance to the present. The second clause, Australia has many other islands too, is the simple present tense. This contrast in aspect, which is perfect versus simple, which contributes to temporal and semantic complexity. Readers need to interpret the conjunction but to understand contrast and comparison between two ideas. Overall, this compound sentence demonstrates coordination, aspect variation, and cohesive conjunctions, making an advanced structure for Stage 2 readers. Synthesis and reflection. Across all three sentences, we see a clear progression in grammatical complexity. Sentence 1 introduces subordination through a causal clause. Sentence 2 adds embedding with a relative clause. Sentence 3 expands through coordination and aspect variation. These constructions challenge developing readers to process multiple clauses, identify syntactic relationships, and interpret meaning at both sentence and discourse levels. As future educators, understanding these structures allow us to select and scaffold reading materials that align with students' literacy development. For younger children, we can focus on repetition and simple clause structure to build confidence and phonics knowledge. For middle primary students, we can gradually introduce text with subordinate and relative clauses to strengthen syntactic comprehension and reading fluency. This case study has reinforced how grammatical awareness and phonological understanding are fundamental to literacy instruction. In summary, both Early Readers on the Farm and We Go to School support emergent literacy through predictable grammar and decodable spelling, whilst Island Life in Australia challenges Stage 2 readers with complex syntax and clause relationships. Analysing these texts highlight the close connection between linguistic structure and reading development, which is essential knowledge for effective literacy teaching. Thank you for listening.